Toyota's first electric vehicle, the bZ4X, and its sister vehicle, the Subaru Solterra, are already being recalled after just a couple months on the market. But we have more news and more good news other than that. We'll talk about the RAV4's new interior. We got shots of that from Europe, and we also have more information on the bZ sedan from Toyota and more. Let's get into it. Overall automotive news, Toyota Subaru recall EVs over risk, wheels could become loose. So if you guys were worried when you first saw this that maybe the battery or something when it came to the driving propulsion system would be faulty, that's not the case. It's something going on with the hub bolts here. This just continues the advice of try not to buy first year cars, guys, especially this is an all new platform, all new vehicle. So Toyota is recalling 2,700 of its first mass-produced EV and Subaru recalling 2,600. So for the bZ4X, 2,200 were earmarked for Europe, 260 for the United States, 20 for Canada, and 110 for Japan. And Toyota's advising those 260 US customers have already taken delivery, contact the Toyota dealer to pick up their bZ4X. You will get a free loaner vehicle until there's a remedy, and there is not a remedy at this point in time. Japan's safety regulator said sharp turns and sudden braking in the cars could cause a hub bolt to loosen, raising the risk of a wheel coming off the vehicle. The regulator said it was not aware of any accidents being caused by the defect. Well, that's really good. I'm always curious on how the manufacturers learn of these safety issues on their vehicles. Do the customers point it out? Do the dealerships point it out? Or is it just continuous internal testing done at their tracks and things like that? And if you just paid 50 grand for your new bZ4X, they're saying to stop using the vehicle until a more permanent repair measure is in place. All the vehicles in Japan were just test cars at dealerships, so no customers were affected there. For Subaru in the United States, none of them had reached customers' hands yet. So we're going to shift gears to something that's a little bit more exciting than wheels falling off of Toyota's first mass-produced battery electric vehicle. This is coming out of the European newsroom, and we hadn't seen images of the new MID for the 2023 RAV4 refresh. We hadn't seen images of the new infotainment screen either. So let's dig in. Of course, they're showing off their new paint color. It's kind of like a creamy metallic white color. But let's talk about this interior. This is pretty cool. All of this looks to be about the same. I just test drove the 2022 RAV4 XSE hybrid, and the stitching, like everything else, seems to be the same except this big fat tablet screen just sticking up out of the dash. That looks very tacky, but it's the RAV4's interior isn't about beauty by any means. It's about functionality, and as long as it doesn't like obscure your vision of the road, it's fine. So this is a new 10-inch screen. I think the base screen of this vehicle is an 8-inch, and all of them have this new Toyota interface. So you have Google points of interest on it. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It's a huge upgrade versus its previous system. So we have this volume knob here, no tuning knob, and gone are all the knobs on the side of the screen. So there it is. It's more like Lexus NX setup where it has some verticality to it. When I was thinking 10-inch screen, I was thinking more of like the ultra widescreen we have on certain models in the Toyota and Lexus lineup. But no, they went the tall route here. So pretty neat. And the MID behind the steering wheel, this was probably the biggest surprise. Gone is the 4-inch. Now we have the 7-inch standard, which used to be the upgraded MID. Now that's the standard, the 7-inch. Now we have this optional 12-inch MID behind the steering wheel on the higher grades of the RAV4. There are different screen selections that you can have. So this one focuses on radar cruise control. It tells you your EV driving ratio, so you can probably change this for like miles per gallon as well. Music on the left. If we go to the next one, and another small detail here is notice how this has some shape to it. It's not just a rectangle. If you look at so many like of the Korean vehicles with their big screens, they're just big, ugly rectangles. Most people are okay with that, but to have some sort of design punched out of it makes it a much more welcoming design, in my opinion. So, of course, we're only looking at hybrid system here because in Europe, as far as I know, they just get hybrids in most of their countries. So fuel economy here on the left, we have the maps built into the MID, which is pretty cool. I don't think we've seen that on a Toyota or Lexus quite yet. I could be wrong, but I don't recall seeing this at least on any vehicles here stateside in the Toyota or Lexus lineup. Here's your lack of a better word, tachometer. It doesn't count engine revs, but it counts, you know, how much juice you're putting in the system and if it's charging. Typical hybrid standard fare for Toyota. Here's your radar cruise control, pacing, your fuel gauge over here. It's good to have external temperature, time of day as well. And this is the last screen that we have, which is more traditional, right? Like I said, lack for a better word, the power gauge or tachometer on the left. It has your music inside of that. And then to the right, we have you could sub this out for miles per gallon, I'm pretty sure. Who cares about EV driving ratio? I don't know. The only thing that really matters is fuel efficiency. But this is your speedometer, of course, and then a digital speedometer here. But pretty nice setup overall. Can't wait to see it and test it out in the new RAV4. But we're going to switch gears again. So one of my followers on Instagram got his hands on patented images of the bZ Sedan. We don't know exactly what it's going to be called. Some people are saying a bZ5, but this vehicle is supposed to be smaller than the bZ4x. So naming it the bZ5 doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, it's Toyota. It wouldn't be the first time. Naming doesn't make sense. So here it is from the side, and these images are just confirming essentially what we were shown in December with the EV onslaught that Toyota showed off. That bZ sedan, pretty much what we saw there is identical to this production version that is patented. So it looks kind of doofy from this angle. It's pretty narrow and tall, but from every other angle, I think it looks pretty good. It's supposed to be about Corolla size. If you missed my video on the bZ sedan, make sure to check it out. But it'll be pretty similar in powertrain. I'm expecting around 200 horse front wheel drive and all-wheel drive options, kind of like the bZ4x. There's a good chance it could be using BYD's batteries, their Blade batteries. So range won't be amazing, but nor is the bZ4x's and nor is the Lexus RZ450e. But that is the last image. I'm kind of getting like Lexus IS taillight vibes from here. It's not a bad looking sedan. Can't wait to see it in full production, guys. These matte images don't give us a full picture here. And lastly, we're over at Instagram, Lexus UK, giving us images. This is at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in Great Britain, and they are showing off the Lexus battery electric vehicle concept sports car. And this is essentially supposed to be the successor of the LFA 0 to 60 in a little over 2 seconds or around 2 seconds. Ridiculous. We don't have production date. This vehicle will come. We just have no idea how or when. Just look at this. There are no lug nuts on this, guys. Just one big hub bolt here keeping the wheel on. Pretty neat. This vehicle just looks insane. There's nothing else to say about it. It looks like a future concept car. And this is a future concept car. The production version, I don't expect to look this radical, especially with the details like this. We saw details similar to this with the LF1 Limitless concept, and a lot of those details just didn't come anywhere close on the RZ450e's eventual production design. So I think with this vehicle being a halo product, we're much more likely to see some of these design cues and general shape take place. But who knows? This vehicle's on a solid-state battery, so who knows when that will ever become available for the masses. But I'm getting in there. Lots of news today. Recall of the bZ4x and Subaru Solterra is the most shocking news. Awesome to see that RAV4 new design for their digital displays in there. bZ sedan could be announced by the end of the year at this point, and then we have the sports battery electric car from Lexus showing its face in Britain. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's industry update for Toyota, a little bit of Lexus in there, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more of that, because that's a big part of the channel here where I focus on Japanese and Korean cars and a little dusting of Volvo and Polestar here and there. I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.